Some disability rights advocates are uniting behind an anti-discrimination bill. Senate Bill 26 would prevent disabled parents from having their parental rights terminated or denied adoption solely because of their disability. The bill's sponsor and others believe it's an idea whose time has come.
I am a person with a disability, muscular dystrophy, and I have 4 kids, so I have a family, and I certainly have had to consider things. I've been lucky. I just can't imagine that, like me sitting here today, if that was my disability situation 30 years ago, at somebody saying, hey, you're not fit to be a parent because you can't do certain things.
The original bill was written in the 30s and instituted that bill there, when most people with disabilities were in institutions. They weren't living in the community, and so I think that's one thing that, this is 2025 and we're talking about this, something that was enacted in the 30s that's just unfathomable in our environment today. But unless this bill gets passed, your parental rights can be affected, terminated, and your children can be taken away from you just because you have a disability.
SB 26 is basically a parental rights bill that we collaborated with the Kentucky Judicial Commission on Mental Health and specifically the intellectual disabilities. It tries to protect parental rights in adoption proceedings. It also tries to protect parental rights in termination of parental rights proceedings. And basically what it does is it prohibits discrimination in those situations when someone has a disability only. So it would prohibit, disparaging treatment of those individuals, and what it tries to do is create transparency, create uniformity, and enable those individuals who may have disabilities to have the opportunity to engage in, collaborative agreements with individuals to help them through their situations with their children, adaptive services, and so it also creates transparency by requiring those things to be individualized and records to be kept in the record for up to 2 years. It also brings Kentucky compliance with the Americans with Disability Act. So again, we want to make sure that individuals who may have disabilities aren't treated unfairly.
Hopefully this will be resolved by SB 26 and Kentuckians with disabilities, parents with disabilities, can breathe a little sigh of relief now that they don't have to look over their shoulder and have that potential looming. People with disabilities are the largest minority in Kentucky. They're the largest minority in America. So the need for those services is very, very much so needed throughout the state and throughout the country.
My anticipation is that we'll pass pretty easily. Again, I can't make any promises, but I don't think any of my colleagues would be, opposed to this legislation. I think it should have widespread support.
These laws that have been around a while, I'm sure were written with some sort of good intent, but it's changed, and people have changed, and our ability to be in the community and do the things that we do make it possible for us to be every bit as good a parent as anybody else.
Advocates say the groundwork for SB 26 began when members of Kentucky's disability community formed a coalition to advocate for a parental rights bill back in 2020.